In the quiet village of Ohaofia, there lived a maiden named Adanma. She was the daughter of Osandu and Uloma. From the day she was born, people said she carried the light of the gods upon her face. Her skin glowed like fresh palm oil, her eyes were like the river at moonrise, and her laughter rang like the bell of a shrine. But Adanma was different. Though suitors came from near and far, she refused them all. Farmers with yam barns, hunters with elephant tusks, traders with bags of cowries, all went home rejected. For Adanma said she was not ready. And in Ohaofia, this was no small matter. A woman who neared 40 without a husband was like a ripe fruit left to rot on the branch. Her mother, Uloma, tried with patience at first. But as the years passed, her patience turned to sorrow, and sorrow to anger. Many evenings she sat by the fire, looking into the flames and shaking her head. She would say, "A woman who does not marry is like a basket with no bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it holds nothing." Her father, Osandu, spoke less but worried more. He muttered that his ancestors would mock him if his only daughter grew old unmarried. In the dead of night, husband and wife would mourn together, whispering of their shame. Adanma heard their words and grew weary. She lamented, "Why must marriage be forced upon me? Do I not have the right to wait until my heart agrees? Why must my parents measure my worth by bride price and children?" But still, she loved them, and her heart was torn between her desire for freedom and the weight of tradition pressing down upon her shoulders. One market day, Ohaofia saw what it had never seen before. A stranger walked into the village. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and handsome beyond words. His skin shone like polished ivory. His wrapper was white as morning dew, and coral beads adorned his neck. He walked as one who did not touch the earth, and yet each step left the villagers silent. Some said his eyes were like fireflies at midnight. Others whispered that he walked with the calm of a king, yet no one knew his name nor his people. He said only this, that he had come seeking a wife. The market square buzzed like a disturbed beehive. Women whispered behind baskets of pepper. Men nodded cautiously. Some spat on the ground, muttering that no good could come of such sudden beauty. One old woman said, "A handsome stranger who appears from nowhere is like yam that sprouts in the dry season. It is not natural." But the young maidens giggled and dreamed. For his beauty was like honey, and many hearts were stirred. Not long after, Adanma's path crossed his. She was carrying her clay pot to the stream. The sun was low, the path quiet, only the sound of cicadas. Suddenly she saw him walking toward her. Her heart beat like the drum of Ikoro. She thought to herself, "Ah, if only this man would look at me. If only he would speak my name." And as though her thoughts had flown into his mind, the stranger came closer, his eyes never leaving hers. He smiled, and when he spoke, his voice was soft yet heavy like thunder rolling in the hills. He said, "You are beautiful. What is your name?" From that day they met often. At the stream, by the palm trees, under the moon. He brought her gifts, beads carved from ivory, bracelets of shining cowries, and wrappers finer than those seen in the village. Adanma's heart blossomed like new yam in the rains. She felt cherished, adored, seen in ways no suitor had made her feel. And for the first time in her life, she thought perhaps this was destiny. But the people of Ohaofia watched with suspicion. They saw that the stranger never ate with others. When palm wine was poured, he only lifted the cup to his lips but never drank. At night, no one saw where he slept. By day, he vanished from the farms and markets. He appeared only when Adanma was near. Whispers spread. Some said he was a wandering prince. Others that he was an muo, a spirit in the form of a man. For his shadow did not always follow him. Then the signs began. Chickens in Uloma's compound fell dead without reason. Water pots cracked at night. Adanma began to dream, dreams where she stood at the river, dressed in white, walking into the water as the stranger called her name. Her mother grew fearful. Her father's silence grew heavier, and the villagers grew restless. At last, the elders summoned the Dibia, the priest of the gods. He threw cowries upon the earth, and the shells leapt like fire. He shook his rattle, called upon the ancestors, and spoke in the voice of one not his own. "The truth is this," he said. "Adanma has been chosen by a spirit husband. He is Obadiah, a prince of the river. If she binds herself to him, Ohaofia will suffer. For spirit husbands are jealous. They share no wife with mortal men." Uloma wept. She begged her daughter to leave the stranger. She said, "My child, love that hides in shadows is not love. A man who fears the sun is not flesh. Let him go, lest the river swallows you." But Adanma's heart was blind. She cried, "Why do you call my love a curse? He gives me joy. He gives me riches. He gives me peace. Why must you take this from me?" And so she turned from her parents and chose the spirit. The storm came soon after. Clouds gathered, thick and black. Winds howled through the trees. Thunder cracked like breaking wood. The river rose, overflowing its banks. Farmlands drowned. Roofs flew into the night. The people ran, crying the names of the gods. Then in the midst of the storm he appeared, Obadiah, the spirit husband. Tall and terrible, his staff glowing like fire. His eyes blazed, his voice rolled like thunder. He cried, "Adanma is mine. None shall take her from me." The villagers trembled. Some fainted. Mothers clutched their children. The Dibia stood firm, rattling his staff, chanting to the gods. A battle of powers shook the air. Adanma wept at the river's edge. Her heart was torn in two. She loved her people, yet she could not betray the spirit who had given her so much. She cried out, "Obadiah, please, do not harm them. Spare my people. I will come with you." But the Dibia lifted his staff and chanted louder. Fire leapt from the shrine. The storm raged and the ground shook. 4 hours, spirit and priest struggled, their powers clashing like rams in battle. At last, with a final cry, Obadiah vanished into the mist. The storm ceased. Silence fell. At dawn, the people found Adanma lying by the riverbank. She was alive, but weak. The glow of her beauty was gone. Her hair was dull, her skin pale. She looked years older in a single night. The Dibia declared, "She is free, but the mark remains. She will never marry, nor bear children. That is the price of the spirit husband." The villagers sighed with pity. Her mother wept. Her father turned his face away. And so Adanma lived, neither wife nor mother, but forever remembered. Children were told her story at moonlight. Women warned their daughters of strange men who came from nowhere. Men learned that not every beauty brings joy. For in Igbo land we say, "What one does shall surely return to them." If you enjoyed Adanma's story and want more captivating Igbo folk tales brought to life, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Your support helps us create even better stories, just for you. Click subscribe now and join our storytelling family.